And I'd like to welcome you all to our Tuesday 1:30 p.m. session today with Legal Counsel for the Elderly, where Robin will be discussing transportation options in the district with us today. I'm going to read our disclaimer before we get started. The WildTech DC Senior Digital Equity Program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the information in the apps or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thanks so much for letting me read the disclaimer. If you cannot see me or see us or hear us or see the screen, please let us know in the chat. As always, make sure to keep your TVs and cell phones in mind so we can give ourselves the most immersive experience. And as always, make sure you take notes and or screenshots so you could review the information for later on. But this session will be on our YouTube channel later on as well. Robin, once again, if you could introduce yourself and your topic for today, we'd really appreciate it. And thank you so much for coming on our session.
Thank you, Alex, and thank you for your kind words. My name is Robin Griffin. I'm a senior attorney at Legal Counsel for the Elderly, and today I am excited to talk to you about transportation options in DC. I also have an update for you on utility options and an update on the Social Security Fairness Act about pensions. Before I get started and share my screen, I wanted to just take a moment to thank each and every one of you and express my heartfelt gratitude for allowing me to attend your presentation last month on self-love and compassion. I want you all to know that I truly learned so much during the session, and I deeply appreciate all of the insights that you all shared, the tips on how to better take care of ourselves, along with the importance of eating well and, practicing compassion. It was a really meaningful presentation, and I'm just so grateful to each of you for the opportunity to attend. So with that, let me share my screen and we can get started.
Thank you so much for the kind words, Robin. Appreciate it.
Of course. All right. So, as I said, I'm from Legal Counsel for the Elderly, where we help seniors receive the income, benefits, and services to which they are entitled in order for them to live independently in the community. And today we're going to start off with transportation options in the district. And the first service that I wanted to tell you all about is the Medical Transportation Management Company, also known as MTM. This program provides non-emergency medical transportation services as long as you have Medicaid and you live in DC. And also, they require that you have no other way to get to your appointment, and they will provide you with free transportation. I want to take a moment and back up and just give you all the why. Why is it important to talk about transportation options? With everything going on in the economy, the cost of food going up, utilities, it's important to, take a look at our budgets. It's important to know what services are available to us. And you'll find that MTM is very helpful if you, need to get to your doctor's appointment, or if you have another healthcare appointment like physical therapy, dialysis. MTM is a good resource to have in order to meet your transportation needs. All right. And it's important to know that with MTM, you will want to call them at their number to set up service. That number is going to be 866-796-0601. As Alex said, you can take a screenshot of this page so that you'll have the contact information. I can also put that in the chat for anyone who would like to copy that, and I'll repeat it again just so in case anyone is writing it down, but it's 866-796-0601. And so you'll call MTM 3 days before your doctor's appointment or medical appointment. You'll provide them with your name, your current address, your phone number. Remember, you do have to be a Medicaid enrollee, so they'll want your Medicaid ID number, the date of your appointment, the doctor's name, doctor's address and phone number, and the medical reason for the ride, and the type of appointment, and if you'll need assistance. This is a really positive attribute of MTM. If you need an aide to ride along with you, they can also provide that. You just want to make sure that you call 3 days in advance and let them know what you need so they can provide that for you. Okay, now if you are enrolled in Medicaid, they also have other programs available, various Medicaid managed care programs. The first is going to be with Amera Health. And again, you can take a screenshot of the number, or if you'd like to write it down, it's 1-800-315-3485. For Amera Health, it's 1-800-315-3485. We know that, some seniors, some grandparents are raising minor children, or maybe they care for minor children. Health Services for Children with Special Needs also has a program. That number is 866-991-5433. That's 866-991-5433. MedStar Family Choice is also an option when you're looking for transportation, and that's 866-208-7357. Again, that's 866-208-7357. And then the Trusted Health Plan is 855-824-5693. Again, that's 855-824-5693. All right. So now that we know about MTM, I wanted to provide you with information about the Seaberry program, because Seaberry has a connector program, and they will take you to not only medical appointments, including dialysis or cancer treatment, they will also take you to your social service agencies and appointments for your benefits. Think like Social Security, if you have to go to DHS for your SNAP benefits or your Medicaid, they can take you there as well. The Seaberry Connector program will also take you to do your shopping. They have group shopping trips on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., and registration is required. So in order to register for the Seaberry Connector program, you need to enroll, and you enroll by calling them at 202-727-7771. And once you dial that number, you'll want to select option 1 to enroll. They will ask you to provide either your Medicare or your Medicaid number. You want to make sure that you call before 1 p.m. to make a reservation. And you'll notice the difference between MTM and Seaberry. With MTM, they want you to call 3 days in advance. But with Seaberry, you have a little bit more time. As long as you call before 1 p.m., you should be able to make your appointment. Now, if you need a pickup, you can call the same number and choose option 2. And if you need an escort, you can travel with an escort as well with the Seaberry program. There are additional services through the Mayor's Office of Asian and Pacific Islander Affairs, and that number is there for you, 202-727-3120. So before we move on to the other programs, can I get a show of hands? Have any of you used the Seabury Connector program, or have any of you used MTM for your transportation needs?
Yep.
Yes, great.
Those hands, everyone. Robin, my friend uses the MTM. I never knew what it was called, but she uses the 3 business days before.
Awesome, awesome.
It's a great service. I will say during the winter with the snow, I'm not sure if you know anything about that, but the service was a little iffy, well, for everyone, but during winter. So it's great that there are different programs or for this in case one may not work. What do you think of that?
Yeah, exactly. You make a good point, Alex. If maybe if Seabury is not available, you can call MTM. And I do have a couple more to share with you. But I think you're right, Alex. Does anyone want to come off mute and share their experience with either Seabury or MTM? But no pressure if you don't.
Oh, that's a great question, Robin. And after that, we do have a question in the chat. Anyone would like to share their experience with MTM or Seabury? I see some hands. Okay, Miss Laverne, did you want to share an experience with us?
Yes. Good afternoon, Miss Robin.
Good
I
afternoon.
use MTM for my transportation services, and I've been using them for a couple of years, and they seem to be okay with me. At one point, I had one company that was iffy and wasn't respectful, and I called in to complain to them about it, but to me, to no avail, because they still put me down for that same sorry company.
Well, I'm happy that you found MTM and I'm happy to hear that they've been doing right by you. I'm sorry about that prior experience, but I'm happy you're with a better company now.
And I thank you.
Of course. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just let me know when to stop, Robin. And did you want to share a quick experience with us?
Yes, I used Seaberry before I had AIDS. So it's been a while back. They were on time and they came back and got me. So I used them a few times, so I never had a complaint. So
Awesome.
and the person that was driving the 2 or 3 times that I used it, a fact I got that same person a couple of times, was very nice, very polite, and I was by myself, and got out and opened the car door and helped me get in and all that. So they were good. So and I have
Great.
some and I have some friends that swear by them. So I haven't heard any complaints about it.
Yay.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay, I'll see you in a couple of a few weeks for the meeting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Anne, for sharing. We really
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. All right, Miss Antoinette, thanks so much. Nice to hear from you. What would you like to share?
Yeah, I live at Capitol Hill Towers, and we use Seabury to take trips out. Last week we went to Martha's Table. And anytime we go, we getting ready to go to the Army Market in a couple of weeks, and then we're going to Walmart. So we basically use it to travel on our trips and stuff.
I know that's right,
Awesome.
Antoinette.
Thank you for sharing. That's great to hear. And with Seaberry, it's just like you said, you get to go, Martha's Table, you get to go shopping compared to MTM. MTM is more for medical appointments. So it's great to have Seaberry to make the different stops.
Oh yeah, Robin. We had someone from Seabury on our sessions, and she mentioned taking them on to various places. So this is very helpful because it just all a lot of services are connected with each other. So I love that. So again, thank you for
Awesome.
doing it with us. We got Miss Celeste. What would you like to share about MTM or Seabury?
Good afternoon, Robin. This is interesting to know. Good to know because I used Seabury a while back when I had knee surgery, and I didn't know they still existed. I thought they didn't
Mm-hmm.
exist,
Or do?
but I thought there was a certain time when they pick you up for medical appointments, or they didn't start to pick you up around 11. So this is good to know that they're still operating. I have another service now, but I didn't know that Seabury still exists.
Oh, do you want to share the transportation service that you use? If not, it's okay.
They're kind of good, but I don't want to share it
Okay,
at this
that's
point.
okay.
Okay. It's okay. Thank you so much, Miss Celeste.
Uh,
Yes, I love it. Various levels of knowledge, which is okay. That's why we're all in this together and learning about these programs. More about it, something you didn't know. I love it. So thank you all so much. Again, Robin, just let me know. But we got lots of hands. Mr. Angelo, thanks so much.
Yeah, hello, Alec, and hi, Robin. I
Hello.
just wanted to share that I used to use Seabury a long time ago, and they switched to. It seems like they had switched. They told me they were going to switch to cab. Was it yellow cab or something? Was
Mm,
taking it over. So when I got with yellow cab, that didn't go that well. But Seabury was very good. You know, like everyone said, they used to come and well, you call it in, and then they come and pick you up, and you know, you had to ride. But then when they drop people off, they would go like I guess in the furthest away from where the destination is or wherever they had, and they drop everybody off. But in the ride, you got to know people and you know talk and whatnot. So it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed Seabury, you know, so it was really good. Um, yeah, on a bad note, though, it was the Rehabilitation Hospital, NRH. They have their own services that do the same thing, but
mm.
it's not as good as Seabury. So, yeah, that's a really great service, and I didn't know they were still in existence either. So, do they charge or what? You know, for
No,
Seabury?
Seabury does not charge.
Right, right. That's what I was thinking, you know. Yeah. So the new service that they had switched to, I don't know, they were doing it according to your income. And I said, I'm a senior citizen, I don't have any income. But it didn't work too good with the other service. So yeah, Seabury is very great, you know. So I'm gonna give them a call and see can I get with them again, you know. I'm an alumni.
Thank you for sharing your
Okay,
experience.
no problem. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Angelo.
Okay.
Before we forget, so in the chat, Robin, I think this was about MTM. It says, do they pick you up after the ride to take you back home?
If you call MTM to set it up, then they can take you back home. You'll just have to let them know when you call to set up the pickup that they can also take you back home. I was also looking at the next message. It looks like someone tried to reach out to Seabury, but the number, Miss Blackshear, you said the number was disconnected?
Hmm. I'm gonna try it. Let me see. Yeah, 727-7771. Is that the number that was on the screen, Robin?
Yes, it is. So let me
It
see.
went straight. Yeah, it went straight. It hung up immediately.
Okay. I'm not sure if there is an issue with their number. I know Seabury has an alternate number as well. Let me try to put that in the chat because we want to make sure that you all get the services that you need. So let me put their alternate number. I'm not sure if maybe something's going on with their number, but the 202-715-7649 is an alternate number for the Seabury Connector Program. So if the first number wasn't working, then you'll want to reach out to that number.
Yes, I see you put the number in the chat, Robin. Thank you so much.
Of course. All right. And do we want to just go through? I think we have 4 hands raised. We can go through their experience and then I can share the remaining transportation services.
Sure. Yes, we'd love that. Thank you so much again for answering that question. Really appreciate it. We got Miss Doris next for MTM or Seabury. Any experience you'd like to share?
Well, I use Yellow Cab service, but they only take you like to your medical appointments, and you usually have to make your appointments in advance. And their service is really good. You call them when you finish your appointment, and then they come back and pick you up. So I've been using that service. I thought Seabird had went out of business a couple years ago, and also I wanted to share well, maybe when you get to that part about the Social Security thing. I left you a message in the chat. They paid me some money.
I'm so happy to hear that. And yes, I do have an update for everyone, and I'm happy to share it now. But basically, if you received a pension and Social Security benefits in the past, they would reduce your Social Security benefits because of the pension. But now Social Security has changed that, where you can receive your pension and your full benefits. So you should start noticing back pay going back to January of last year to the present. And if you haven't received it, it should be coming soon, along with a notice explaining, how they calculated that. So thank you for sharing your good news.
It was good.
I know that's right, Miss Doris. Thank you so much for sharing. We really appreciate it. And we got one more hand. We got Miss Cassandra. Any Seabury MTM experiences? Thank you so much.
Yes. I was calling. I wanted to say something about Seabury. About a year ago, someone on our senior program had gave me the number to call Seabury about transportation. But when I called them, they told me that the funds had ran out and that they were going to put my name on a list when they opened back up. So I'm also one that thought that Seabury was still out of existence. I didn't know they were back.
Yeah, and you'll notice that with some of the services. I have a LaHeap update for you all because LaHeap was such a popular program, but they're out of money and they won't be, back in service until October. So sometimes these free services, if they are short on funding, they will pause until they get funding. But I think Seabury is back now, as a few of, the other attendees shared that they're currently using Seabury. So I
Well,
would maybe give them a call.
Yeah, one of the colleagues on the senior program that was using it, she was using it when she told me about it.
Mhm.
But when I called Seabury, they said that we're out of funds, but people that were already in it is still qualified to use it. It was new
Right.
people that are like me that wanted to get it that had to wait. But they put my name on a waiting list and said it's going to call back, and they haven't called back. So I'm just saying, I didn't know
Right.
they was back in effect. But I use Metro Access, but I need something free.
Right, right. And thank you for sharing that information. Can you tell me, do you remember when you spoke to Seabury and when they put you on the waiting list?
About a year ago.
Oh, a year. Okay. So I would call them because they should
Okay.
have called you by now, but I would
Right.
reach out to them.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
got to advocate for yourself because they can be very busy sometimes. So it's
Yeah.
not like they intentionally didn't call you back, but with these organizations, you got to
Yeah.
call again and advocate for yourself. So that's my words of advice.
Okay.
All right. Miss Morris?
Yes,
Oh,
All
was that
right.
it, Miss
Thank you.
Sandra?
that was me. I'm
Yes.
finished.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
Robin, I know I see we have some additional hands. Do you want to go over some additional programs and then see if there's any questions?
Okay, sure, I can do that. The next program I wanted to share with you all is the Senior Med Express. And the Senior Med Express is a great program because they offer free round trip transportation. You just have to be a DC resident, you have to be 60 or older, and it has to be a medical appointment for the Senior Med Express. We were just talking before about funding, so I want to remind you, as I'm telling you about the Connector Card program, they have been affected by funding, but I wanted to just make you aware so that once they get their funding, you would know about this program. But the Connector Card program gives you a debit card with $100 on it every month, and you can actually download their app to the phone and you can order lifts through the Connector Card program. And then, as you spend it down, you get $100, and every month it, re-ups on your card. You just have to be 60 or older. And as I come back, once they get funding, I'll be sure to let you know. But I just wanted to make you aware because this program is a little different because instead of calling, for a pickup or a drop off, you're getting the card that you can just order your rides at your convenience. All right, and then I also wanted to tell you about Tackle. I know you all are familiar with Tackle. They have a lot of great programs. If you find that Seaberry, MTM, Med Express, Connector Card, if they're not available, then I would strongly encourage you to give DACL a call. They have case managers and social workers that are aware of many, many programs in DC, and they can help you to find a service that works for you. I put the number on the screen for you in case you don't have it. It's 202-724-5626. So again, if maybe you don't have Medicaid or Medicare, so you're not eligible for MTM or the other programs, or we've talked about funding. Maybe a program doesn't have the funding to take you on, then I would advise you to reach out to DACL because they may be aware of other programs. All right. So those were the programs that I wanted to share about transportation. I wanted to make sure that we all have the transportation we need to go to our doctor's appointments, Social Security, SNAP appointments, and go grocery shopping. Plus, as everything is getting more expensive, it's just good to know about these different programs that can help us to keep our budgets lower. Miss Jackson, did you have a question?
Oh, Robin, is this your last slide, or did you want to have folks ask about the transportation programs first, and then you're going to go over this?
Okay, well, I had a few slides about utility assistance, but I can go through them and then ask the questions. As I shared with you earlier, we've been talking about funding. I wanted to share with you that LAHEAP ran out of funds. So if you need assistance on your light, gas, water bill, you'll want to apply October 1st that's when the new fiscal year starts and their funding is re-upped. But I did want to let you know that If you haven't applied since last October, you can still apply for the utility discount program, which will give you a discount on your bill moving forward. So again, while they don't have the funds for you because they ran out of funding, you can still apply for the discount. Oh, I apologize. My slides are a little bit out of order. I have a few other transportation options for you. We have the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority. They have reduced fares for seniors, and that can be an option for those of us who are, able to get around with that. They also have Transport DC. While it's not free, Transport DC has $5 cab rides for eligible Metro customers who are residents of DC. And there are no restrictions from the 1st to the 15th of the month. But then after that, it's restricted to either, going to work or going to a doctor's office from the 16th through the end of the month. If you're interested in the Transport DC program, you can give them a call at 202-645-7300. That's 202-645-7300. All right. And this is just more information about LAHEAP. When you apply, like we talked about in our LAHEAP session, you'll need a copy of your ID, you'll need a copy of your social security card, a copy of your bills. If you have a disconnection, you'll want to bring the disconnection notice. And then they will want proof of income for the household members. And LAHEAP is a really good program because they have generous income levels. So like if you're in a household of one, as long as you don't make over 57,571, you can qualify for LAHEAP. All right. And this information no longer applies because they have run out of money. So you won't want to go in person, but you can still apply either by mailing in the paper application or you can apply online. Okay, so while LAHEAP has run out of funds, if you find that you are behind on your PEPCO program, I would advise you to reach out to PEPCO about their arrearage management program. They can help you to enter into a payment plan as long as you have a minimum balance of 300 or your balance is more than 60 days past due. They can put you on that program to help you pay it off. If you need assistance with Washington Gas, they also have the Washington Gas budget program. So I would advise you to give them a call. This program is administered by the Salvation Army. So you can either reach out to Washington Gas or the Salvation Army for more information. Okay, and if you are a United Healthcare enrollee, ask your case manager about the United Healthcare U card. Every month they give you a credit on the card. You can use it for food, you can use it for over-the-counter products, or you can use it to pay your utility bills, which, with everything happening in the economy, again, it's just good to be aware of other resources and services. So I will stop sharing my screen. And Alex, I'm happy to answer any questions that you all may have.
Oh, well, once again, Robin, thank you so much for a wonderful session. Thank you for the updates on some of the previous topics that you've mentioned with us as well. So thank you for that continuing education. And Thank you again for going over these programs with us. And as we are all aware, things do change. So, if for those that are watching on YouTube, it may have changed just recently, or it may be the exact same. So it's really important to do your own research to find the most updated information. So, and it varies because on DACL's website, it may say one thing, on the actual organization's website, it may say another. So, for example, Transport DC, it's actually they upped it to $7 a way versus 5. But there are, things are always changing. So it's really, really
Right.
important to, again, look up that program, of course, call and get that info, but just use what, is at your disposal, our technology, to find the most updated information. So, any questions about MTM, about Seabury, about Transport DC, about some of those other transportation options, or some of the one-off updates that Robin had shared with us? Any questions or comments for the session today? But thank you so much, Robin. We really appreciate it.
Of course.
I think while we answer the first one, there's some chats in there as well about the connector card, about Transport DC. So I think that's very helpful as well. And I put in the actual Seabury's number because those two were giving some challenges. So I just went to their website and pulled their direct number. So I hope that helps out you all.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you for that information.
We got Ms. Mason first up for a question or a comment for today's session. You got to make sure you hit unmute in the middle.
Feel good, really. Yes, because that Seabury number is not accurate. It's not working. It say it's no longer available.
Miss Mason, make sure you check out the message in the chat. I'll share it once again. It's Seabury. I have 202-635-9384. I just re-put that number in the chat as well.
Okay, and then the transportation is no longer $5, it's $7 now.
For Transport DC. But again, things may change. That it was $5 for a really long time. I remember that when I first started here, but it went up to $7 at some point between these 3 years. So it's always just important to just do some additional information because again, things may change.
Okay, and then Taylor Street is no longer available either. Please, seniors, don't even go down there. That's closed, Taylor Street, for help with energy.
Oh, Robin, I'm not aware of that. Are you aware of that?
I know that LAHEAP has run out of funding, but I wasn't aware that it closed that location. I know they're not taking in-person applications anymore. But when you went, they were closed down?
Yes, they've been closed a long time.
Okay, well, Miss Jenkins said she went to Taylor Street last month, so I wonder what's going on. Maybe I can look into that and give you guys an update next month.
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am, I'll do that.
I hope that was helpful, Miss Ann. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. Please lower your hands and mute yourselves. We really appreciate it. Okay, Mr. Charles, thank you so much for your patience. What do you have a question or comment for Robin today?
Good afternoon. Okay, comment more so than question. I've used most of the ones you've spoken about. Connector card, as was in the chat, is now with these yellow cab. As also it was in the chat, sometimes they make you add a contribution. And I don't see any kind of rhyme or reason with that because last year I wasn't required to make any contribution, but this year I was told I need to make a $24 contribution. When I inquired, they said because my income went up, but the contribution they asked me to make was more than what my income went up through Social Security. So I don't understand. And when I asked about that, they said they'd get back to me. I'm still waiting. MTM, they use outside contractors. And sometimes that can be a little iffy because I had one instance, and this was some years ago. They left me out in Silver Spring and never came to pick me back up. I was told because the driver said she had to go pick up their daughter, and they couldn't come pick me up. So that caused a challenge for me. Also, with the I forget the health. One of them, if you have a it's one of the one that's health services. I think I can't remember the name. If you have the Metro Access, then you don't qualify for them. And the Transport DC, they will only take you to the DC limit, to the limit of the limit to Eastern Avenue or Southern Avenue, or but not outside of DC. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just some feedback from my experience.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Turner, for sharing that important information.
Thank you so much, Mr. Charles. Let's see. Got quite a few hands. Love it. Thank you so much, you all. Just making sure we address everyone that has a comment or question. Miss Antoinette, it says, how do you get the number for, I think that's Med Express. I think that's what you're saying. I think you had that number on the slideshow, Robin. Do you mind pulling that up for Miss Antoinette?
Yes, and in fact, I'm getting that number now, so I'll put it in the chat for everyone.
Yes, thank you so much, Robin. I love it.
Of course.
All right. Anne, thank you so much again. You have a question or comment for Robin today?
Yes, Robin. I know this is something that you can't answer, but there are a lot of us that are afraid if they cut Medicaid and Medicare, is that going to affect us getting a ride?
Thank you for bringing that up. I know there's, a lot of concern out there because we're hearing threats to cut Medicare or Medicaid, but the good news is that hasn't happened. So for these programs, you're currently enrolled in Medicaid or Medicare. That means you are eligible. So I would take advantage of that. I will let you know that we're watching all of these changes at Legal Counsel for the Elderly. And I thank you guys so much for allowing me to come back every month. And as soon as we hear about a change, we'll be coming here to talk to you all about it. So instead of listening to all the chatter and worrying, we just wanted to provide you with the resources. So if you need a ride to the doctor, or if you need a ride to get your groceries, you would have the services that you need. So we'll be sure to keep you updated on any of those Medicaid and Medicare changes.
I apologize for putting you on the spot.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. I want to acknowledge
I've had
that.
a lot of people speak to me because they know I'm in my ward, because they know I'm on the advisory council. And for some reason, they think I got clout, which is a bunch of crap. But anyhow, I just was concerned for them and myself too. Fortunately, I have someone that will not let me starve or die up in my house without any help. So, but it is scary for us, and I thank the legal counsel for being on top of stuff.
Of course, and don't apologize for that question. That's an important question. And, I thank you for asking it, and we'll definitely be back with updates.
Okay, thank you, honey.
Of course.
Thank you, Anne. We got Mr. Angelo once again. Thank you for your question or comment for today.
Hello again, everybody. I just wanted to ask you about the Transport DC program.
I did put that link in the chat as well.
I know I got the telephone number, but I was just curious. What do they do? I didn't. It was a lot thrown at me at one time, and I didn't catch everything.
Yeah, of course. So Transport DC is an alternative transportation option. And from the 1st and the 15th of the month, you can go wherever you'd like without restriction. But then from the remainder of the month, the rides have to be towards either your work or medical treatment only.
Okay. And that's a free service?
Well, it's $7. It used to be 5, but as they said, they raised it to $7
Oh, seven.
a taxi ride.
Okay. So just call the number and they'll hook you up and give you all the information. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
Yes. Okay. Wait a minute. Can I say one more thing?
Of course.
Okay. And the Seabury number, the new number is are they still in business? It was a back and forth with that. Are they still working or are they not working?
They are. I would advise you to call to get more information. And thank you, Alex, for putting that in the chat. It's 202-635-9384 for CBA.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Robin.
Of
Thank you,
course.
Alex. Mhm.
Yes. I think having these different programs it's important to have them because every person's going to be in a different situation. I think, Robin, would you recommend if they could take advantage of the free one, then definitely take advantage of the free and then kind of go up from there to based on what,
Right.
because not everyone may not have Medicaid or Medicare or have this,
Yeah.
everyone's going to be a little different. So is that what you kind of recommend for everyone as well?
Yeah, that's great advice, Alex. Great advice.
Yes. And really appreciate again all the different questions because it can be a lot, but it's all about finding your best option for you.
Right.
Thank you. We got Miss Doris next for another question or comment. Thank you so much.
No, this is another comment about the yellow cab service. I'm gonna give them phone number and I'll put it in the chat. But it's 202-420-7533. And what you need to do, well, I don't know what everybody else do, but I call my appointments in for the whole month. And when you call them, you want them to pick you up an hour before your appointment. Because if you call certain times, they might be filled up. So what I do when I know I got doctor appointments, I call them in the beginning of the month to give them all my appointments.
That is great advice. Thank you.
And also, it's best if you give them your cell phone number because they're gonna call you when the cab is coming to get you on your cell phone. That's what I forgot to say before.
Those are good tips. So call in advance, make your appointments for the month, and then give your cell number. So when the driver calls you, they can call you directly because you don't want to be outside waiting and they're calling your house phone. So that's good advice.
Right, and plus, if your appointment is at 9 o'clock, you tell them pick you up at 8 o'clock.
Thank you.
I forgot to mention that earlier, but I'll put the number in the chat as well.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Robert.
Of course.
This is the also for the the connector card as you mentioned, Robin, that they're not taking any applications now, but you said you would come back with us when they're taking applications again.
Correct.
Because as you said, some organizations, some programs are going to be a little less funded, so they may stop applications at any time. So it's really important to take advantage of the resources as they're known to you,
Right.
Thank you. We got Miss Celeste next. Thank you so much. You have a question or a comment for Robin today?
I have a question and a comment. The yellow cab service, it's good, but from my experience, I had to call like the day of because I tried when I was working, tried to call before, and they told me I had to call the day of my appointment as far as working or doctor's appointment. But all in all, it's a good service. Also, my other question was the energy program. You said that office is not open, but I have an appointment this week that I made back in November. And I'm hoping it's open because I have an appointment this week with energy program for Pepco.
Right. And to my knowledge, it was open, but I think another attendee said that, that it's been closed for a while. So I'm definitely going to look into that. Celeste, and if you want to share, because you said your appointment is tomorrow, if you feel comfortable maybe sharing with Alex and he can share with the group if the office is open or not, that would help to clear it up for everyone. But to my knowledge, it is open, but I think someone shared that it wasn't open for them.
Yeah, it's I think a simple Google search will answer those questions because usually on Google they'll say if a center or a place is permanently or temporarily closed. So, I mean, as long as they, have not given you a don't come notice, then
Right,
sure that you're good. So anytime you get info like that, then just always double check. Just Google it, you guys. It's so you can,
right.
just see, and confirm that information. So.
Or you can even call if you feel more comfortable speaking to a person. You can call and let them know I have an appointment coming up. I heard your office may be closed. I just wanted to confirm, and they can confirm it for you.
Yep. I hope that's helpful. Let us know in the chat if you have another comment on that, okay? There's Miss Wanda did share a number, so thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for your comment as well, Anne. Thank you. All right. Again, we have some more hands. I really appreciate that. We got Ms. Denise next for a question or comment. Thank you so much.
Hello, good afternoon. I wanted to comment on about the connector card, because I have the
Yes.
connector card, and at one time I was getting $100, and now I had to show proof of my income. Now I have to pay $32. And then when I pay the $32, then they'll match it with $68 to make me have 100. Now listen to this. But when I do it, I had $50 left. So what happens now? Now I got the 100, and the 50 I had, it rolled over. So now I got 150.
Oh.
They roll it over for you. You go up to $200, no less. If you have more than 200, you have to spend it to get it back down a little bit. And you can pay when you feel like it, your $32. Well, my 32. I don't have to pay it Monday. I might pay it next month, But the people that still just get 100, they don't have that advantage. Because some people, their income was lower that they didn't have to pay nothing. So that's how that connector card working now. And you can do it online or you can go in person to the office and apply, But I think it works for me because at least they didn't take my $50 I had left. It rolls over. Then if I have another one I pay, say this month, and I might have $75 left. The one, when I match it, I have 175 now. You see what I'm saying? That's how it's working now. So if anybody want to try it, it works for me.
Yes, everyone's going to be a little different, Denise, so we can't promise that to everyone. You know what I'm saying? So,
No, I'm just saying if anyone wants to try it, I ain't telling them to try it. I'm just saying it works for me. And I think you're saving if you have to pay. They not taking my $32 either. It's mine. They matching it with what I gave them. I don't know why they're doing it like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not taking that $32 from me. They
no,
just matching it.
yeah, that's their program. So I just shared the connector card program website in the chat. So yes, it's a sliding scale. So it just depends on, again, income. Again, Robin can say more, but just based on what I see, yes, you're gonna have to.
Right. And if anybody don't understand, just call them and they'll explain to you how it go. You know what I'm saying?
Use that website. Use your technology,
Yeah, right. Thanks for letting me share that. Have a good day. And
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it. Again, we just want to make sure that, we share all the information which you guys are doing. So again, thank you so much. We got Miss Doris next for a question or a comment. Thank you so much again.
I just want to make a comment about that yellow cab. Don't you call me the day before your appointment because the cabs might be full up. you need to do it in advance, because you might get disappointed if you wait and call the day before, if they have a lot of calls. So you need to do it in advance. I just want to comment on that because I have experienced that. Called in
Thank
advance.
you.
Mm.
That's good to know. Thank you.
I know, unfortunately, some of these programs are, operate just a little slightly differently. So you just got to learn the quirks of the program. So thank you so much. We got Ms. Mason again. Thank you so much for your question or comment. Go ahead and hit unmute in the middle, okay?
Yes. Seabird say they are not doing transportation. They're working with Transport DC Connector Card only. They say they wish they was doing transportation, but they are not doing transportation.
So they're working with Connector Card, you said?
Yes. 202-529-8701. And that is Seabird number. I just called them. They say they are not doing transportation. They wish they were.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that information.
Oh, okay.
So I think that is the last question. We've gone through a lot of resources from connector card programs to MTM, the Metro, Transport DC, also Med Express. And I appreciate each and every one of you sharing your different experiences. We wanted to also give you an update on the LAHEAP funding. And if you need to apply, we would apply October 1st. But if you'd like to take advantage of that monthly discount, then you can still apply for LAHEAP between now and October 1st. And finally, if you received a pension in Social Security, they finally changed that rule, and now you can receive the maximum for both. So you should be receiving some back payment if you receive a pension and Social Security. Thank you so much for allowing me to come and talk about all of these resources. As Alex shared with you, you'll want to call or, Google these resources just to confirm availability. And again, I can't thank you enough. Every time I come, I feel so full from everything that you all share. So thank you again for having me.
Thank you, Robin. Do you mind putting the legal counsel's number hotline in the chat as well, in case any folks have any additional questions or any other services? I guess while you put that number in the chat, just 30 seconds, what other services that legal counsel can help with?
Yes, we can help with landlord tenant issues. If you have, housing issues, we can help with all the public benefits, Social Security, SNAP, utility assistance. We can even help with issues with housing. If you have foreclosure issues or other housing issues, give us a call and we're always happy to help. If we can't help, we will find a legal services organization who can help you, and we'll make that referral for you.
Thank you again for your chat as well. I do see we have some hands. Are those
Yeah.
questions for Robin, you guys? Again, we just got to make sure we keep the time in mind. So, any final questions or comments for the session today? But again, let's make sure we're all on for our poll, okay? Any last thoughts or comments for Robin? So we're gonna go rapid fire. We got Miss Laverne. Thank you again for coming on.
Miss Robin,
Yes.
you work with the legal counsel for the elderly, right?
Yes.
And I hope I'm not jumping off what we're talking about, but I was dealing with one of your maybe associates or co-workers or whatever, and I don't know if I should put his name out, but I need to know some things. Do you have a supervisor of them folks that I can call and talk to? Or can I give you my number for you to call me to take and talk to me?
Yes, if you feel comfortable in the chat, you can send a message only to me and you can put your number in the chat. And I will give you a call and follow up and make sure that any of your, concerns that they're addressed.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Of course, happy to help.
Thank you so much. We got Mr. Booker. Thank you so much. You have a question or a final comment for Robin today? Thanks so much for coming on. Make sure you hit unmute in the middle, okay?
You gonna unmute?
Again, Mr. Booker, you got to hit unmute in the middle, okay? You got a question or comment for Robin?
Hey, Miss Robin, how you doing?
I'm happy to see you. How are you?
This is a different question, and this is gonna go around the world for somebody else. Okay, the Schedule H program. You know anything about the Schedule H program?
We help seniors with Schedule H at Legal Counsel for the Elderly.
Yes. So therefore, it's time for me to do that thing that we normally do once a year.
Yes.
The tax thing. So was there a number that I can call? Because I got both forms that I need to do for the taxes.
Yes, sir. Thank you to Alex for just putting our number in the chat. You can call the 202-434-2120 number and we can help you with that.
Say it again one more time.
Yes, sir. 202-434-2120.
Yeah, make sure you check out the chat for the other. We have a lot of links. We have a lot of numbers in the chat, Mr. Booker. So I really recommend you look at that chat for some of the other things as well that we've gone over, okay?
Thank you.
I love our session, Robin. We share a lot of stuff in the chat. So we got, we got to make sure you all take advantage of these different links and these different comments because it may be a lot. So it's a really great resource. Okay, we got Miss Ann again. You have a question or comment for Robin?
Yes. For income tax, they do help with rent. They go back 3 years. And I found this out about years ago. If you pay rent, you can get money back for paying rent here in DC. And they do go back 3 years. I don't have the number. If you could, let everybody know the number to call because I do know they have helped me free, and they go back 3 years if you pay rent here in DC.
Yeah, and I think you're talking about the Schedule H program.
Yes.
You all can call the number Alex put in the chat, and we're happy to help you with the Schedule H program. Ms. Doris?
Yes, thank you so much, Anne. Really appreciate it. We got one more hand. Thank you so much again for the comments and questions. You all are so insightful, so thank you so much. You got it, Ms. Doris.
Okay, what I was calling about as well, I put a chat, my phone number in the chat for you to call me because you had my number transposed and I never got to talk to you about an attorney. And that's one thing. And also the Schedule H is not just for people that pay rent, it's for people that pay mortgage as well.
Correct. Thank you for that clarification.
Okay, thank you. And I wish you called me, please.
Of course.
Thank you.
We got you, okay? Yes. You all got to make sure it got to say to, and then it got to say the person you want to send the message to, okay? So Robin, for that message, I just sent you that information, but just make sure that you guys, when you send a direct message, it says to the person you want to send it to. If it says everyone, you're sending it to everyone. So make sure you all keep that in mind, okay? Yes. Well, Robin, again, thanks so much for coming on. Do you have any final words or thoughts? I know you said with everything going on, maybe why it's so important to take advantage of a lot of the resources that you talked about with us.
Yes, and I just want to thank you all for being proactive. Like I gave you the information and you guys started calling and Googling, and you're doing exactly what you should be doing, getting the information, following up. like Alex said, you want to advocate for yourself and make sure that you get the resources that you deserve. So thank you again for having me. I'm always happy to come and see all of you guys, and I hope you have a good afternoon.
Make sure you'll stand for a poll, but let's give a big thank you to Robin for our session today. See you next month, Robin. And thank you so much for presenting. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
See you,
Thank you,
Robin.
Thank you.
Talk to you
Good
soon,
job.
Thank you,
Robin.
Thank you,
Thank
Sonny,
you very
so
much.
much.
All right. Be blessed.
Thank you,
Be
Robin.
blessed, man.